Hey folks, welcome back to SC Haulers, and I'm Saxa Wine. Today we are going to get into one of the most requested topics, much like this one right here. This is a video on how to crack 60k rocks. So today we're going to go over the gadgets I use, the modules I have, the laser head I have, so on and so forth. We are going to be in the mole, so just keep that in mind. This is all going to be done in the mole. That's the only way you're going to get enough power to crack these 60k mass rocks. I just want to point out that you have to meet certain criteria, and we're going to go over that as well. Like, you're not going to be able to crack every 60k rock. So that being said, let's get into this haul. So this website that we're looking at here first is called Seastone, and so if you're new to mining, this is going to be an important one for you because all your mining modules, gadgets, and laser heads are not going to be in the same place. So we can look up like the Sabir gadget, for instance, which I don't have one currently on me in game, so I need to figure out where I can buy those. So we're going to type in Sabir, we're going to click on Sabir, and this takes me to a page where it shows me all the stats for the Sabir, and then on the right side, all the locations that I can purchase this at. And you could also use this for ships. So like if I look up the Argo Raft, I can click on that. Left side gives us some basic stats, or like names and whatnot. On the right side, it tells us where we can buy it, and underneath that it will tell us where we can rent the raft at. So this is a very important tool for miners because our tools are spread out all over the verse. I'm mining on Walla today, and so I go to Arkel 1 to buy my gadgets in the refinery. And so we're going to pick up a couple of Sabirs. You can pick up some Bormaxes if you want as well. But the Sabir is going to be the primary one you need for the big rocks. So that being said, since we're at the refinery getting equipment we need, there's only one laser head that you need. And it's going to be the Helix 2. Now obviously you got two more laser heads on there. On my ship I have the Hofsteed and the Impact. The Hofsteed is running a Rieger C3 and a Stampede module. The Impact is running two Filter XLs and XTR, I believe. But that being said, those are not important. We're not going to be using those to crack the big rocks. Again, the Helix 2 is the important one. And with the Helix 2, you're going to be using a Rieger C3 and two Surge modules. Now, potentially you could replace the Rieger C3 with another Surge module. But for this build, we are using a Rieger C3 and two Surge modules. Fun fact, the Surge module is the only active module that you can use two or more at the same time. Okay, so the first rock we're going to crack is not a 60k rock, it's a 50930, but it's going to be our proof of concept type thing. I haven't mined yet today, so we're going to test everything out on this one. So we have 30% resistance, 375 instability, and generally on Walla you'll have lower instability because your base material is going to be aluminum primarily. You will find some corundum here as well, which has a higher instability, so if you find quantanium and corundum, that instability should be probably around 600. So that instability is important, but for this particular case study we are not even going to worry about that. Just pretend instability doesn't exist. This is all going to be about your personal control. So what we need to do is get that resistance down as much as possible. So what we're going to do first is put the Sabir gadget on there. That will reduce the resistance by 50%. And then we're using the Helix 2, which also reduces it by another 10%. If you don't know much about the gadgets for mining, I have this video right here that goes through each gadget that's available in the game. This was done in 4.1.1, so a couple patches ago, but it is still relevant. None of the gadgets have changed since then. You don't have to go watch that video in order to do this, but just know you need the Sabir gadget, and this is how you place it. You get a green little overlay on the rock. Try to get one that's like angled upward, and I know that's like hard to say. Imagine the top of the rock is a cone. You want a piece of the rock that is like angled towards the top of the cone, like the top would be the tip of it, and that will get it placed right side up. Then you just move the sliders around till you hit 90%,
or above and hit activate, and then your Sabir gadget's good to go. So while I'm in the seat, I'm going to adjust the shields, and I don't actually know if this helps me, but it makes me feel better. We're going to adjust this front shield to be 160. And like I said, I don't know if it actually helps, but we'll see. We're also in the danger zone, so we're going to go back up to the pilot seat and move back just a little bit, because the optimal line is right outside of the danger zone, so we shouldn't take any damage.
So the important thing to know about the optimal line is that is the maximum amount of power. You need to be at the optimal line in order to get max power from your laser. So when you're looking at a laser head, like at the refinery, it'll tell you a minimum power and a maximum power. In order to get that maximum power, you have to be at the optimal line. And then there is a max line as well when you're in the mining head seat. That maximum line will only give you the minimum amount of power for your laser head. So for the Helix 2 laser head, to get the maximum power for the laser head is 4080.
So if I want to get 4080 laser intensity, I would have to go up to 100% and be at that optimal line. If I only want 1080 or 1020, which I believe is the minimum for the Helix, all I have to do is go to 100% laser intensity and then hit the max line. So if you want to crack these big rocks, it is essential that you are at that optimal line, even if it's in the danger zone. And that danger zone is that area that is like the orange stripes at the very top there, above where we were just looking. So you can see we're at 100%. What we're going to do is actually drop down to 50%. We're going to activate both surge modules that we have on here. Okay, so that's doing nothing. We go up to 60, 65, 75, 85, and we're getting some action. So 85-ish is where we want to be, maybe 90 to get up there a little faster, because these surges do not last, or they only last like 12 seconds. So we want to get up into the green zone very quickly because these surge modules only have 7 uses. Now we want to stick back down to 85-ish. Oh gosh, too high. Let's go down to 75. Now it's not doing anything. It's wild. So we drop back down to 84. Let's go back up to 90, down to 80, up to 90. Come on, get in there. Oh, too much, too much, too much. Stay in 80. And look at that. You know, we cracked her, boys. Did we save our? We saved our Sabir gadget. Perfect crack. We're gonna go get that Sabir so we don't have to go back down again.
Okay, so we skipped ahead quite a bit, and now we have a 61k mass rock. There's no Quantanium in this one, but we're getting a lot of similar stats on the rock itself. So we have a 30% resistance. I think it's 27%. And then it is around 347 instability. And so we're going to crack this bad boy open. It's got golden corundum in it. Corundum inherently has a higher instability than other materials, but it's also a lot lighter. So this rock has a lot more SCU than one that would have, like, I don't know, Quantanium and tungsten, for instance. Tungsten is not very dense. So We're going to slap the Sabir on here, get back in the laser head, the Helix 2, and then crack this bad boy open. And an important thing to note here is bring extra mining modules with you, extra surge modules specifically, because I don't know if I said it before, but they only have 6 or 7 uses. I think it's 7. They have 7 uses.
If you're not 100% positive that you're going to fracture the rock right away on that first set of surge modules, make sure you have extras there with you, because you can crack the rocks as long as the resistance is low enough with the Sabir gadget on there, right? But you don't, maybe you just haven't found that weak spot in the rock yet, and you can see that it's going up, but you just need like one more set of surge modules in order to actually get it to go all the way up to the optimal window. So I usually have like a 2SU container in the back of the mole. It doesn't have a cargo grid. The mole doesn't have a cargo grid, but that 2SU container will have all my gadgets and modules that are replaceable.
So first thing we're going to do is increase to 100%. Make sure we can't actually get anything in there. We activate both surge modules, and we can see that it's starting to go up. And it's going up very slowly, and this is the issue with cracking 60k rocks. Even at 100%, it's going to go very slowly, and this is why I said bring extra modules with you, because that high instability, it could prevent that power line from going up. What we're doing here is kind of moving the laser head around, trying to find like weak points in the rock. A lot of people say weak points don't exist. In my experience, they do exist. There are spots that will give you more shots of power, and these fracture lines you're seeing seem to be the most common spots.
Or fractures to take place, like, essentially more easily.
So we're almost at the optimal line. I'm going to drop down to like 90%-ish, and then just go up and down from there, because this is a tiny line. But as y'all can see, it's obviously doable solo. You just need the right setup, you need the right modules and gear with you, and you can crack 60k rocks solo in the mole. That being said, that's the end of the video. If you found this information informative, if you liked the video, hit that like button. If you want more information on the industry side of Star Citizen, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to see when my videos drop. And other than that, this is SC Haulers. I'm Sacks of Wine, and we'll see you at the next haul.
Sacks of wine, the space-way king, hauling dreams on metal wings, from moon to planet and back again. Sacks of wine.